Welcome back, everyone. Thank you again for coming out. This is our third and final session looking at Katame no Kata. Before we get back into the techniques, we will review the rear chokes that we did last time, but we didn't have much time. We'll do the cross chokes, and then we'll move into Kensetsu, and then closing the Kata out. Before we do that, just something that came up last time, variations and different ways of doing things within the Kata. If you even watch people at the Worlds, you'll notice people do things differently. And sometimes trends happen. Oh, most people are doing this, most people are doing that. But I believe last year at the Worlds, we were talking, for example, Kazuri Kami Shiogatami. The pushing out the knee, I said the response of Tori is to sit through into Keiza. And that's fairly typical. But the teams that won first and third at last Worlds, instead of sitting through, they just, from here, they just shot that leg out, which does the same thing. It takes away that break. So, you know, Uke is pushing that knee, you take the leg out. So it has the same effect. And then everything else was about the same. Oh, 1 second. If you look on the rules for the competition, and if you look at the Kodokan textbook, it doesn't say what Uke is supposed to do. It just says 3 escapes and 3 responses. What needs to happen is they need to make sense and they need to flow. All right? If you have to, you know, going from one to the other, it's jarring, it's a bad sequence. So, as you're going on, you might see other versions, and you're like, oh, I can make this work with my judo better. I highly encourage you to keep on trying different things and finding out what makes your judo better, what can trigger your understanding. Okay? When I say test these things out yourself, you should feel for you and your partner which version works better. It could very well be when you're doing kata with this person, you're going to do, you know, version A, and we work with this other person, just because the way your body's lying, you're going to do version B. Just know that it isn't, you have to do it this way or that way. It's what makes sense and what you can flow better and demonstrate judo the best with. Okay?
Kodokan textbook provides the 3 escapes that you normally do. They're described in the Kodokan textbook, but not in the rules, the criteria for evaluation. Uke is expected to do those 3 escapes. Tori's reaction can vary. So as Wes said, whether you sit through your kesa or you post your leg back, that part's Tori's action, so it doesn't matter, as long as it makes sense. But the Uke ones are described in the Kodokan textbook, each one of those 3. Okay?
And in each of the katas you'll find there's some point where the description and the rules in the textbook stops. And wherever that stops, there's variation. But you have to go back to the global thought. Do we have good kazushi? Do we have good posture, good control? Are we demonstrating the principles well? And that's what's going to make the difference. Okay? Any questions on that? Okay. Today we're, as I said, arm wrestle stuff, so we'll just do a quick warm-up, make sure our arms are ready to go. So just arm circles ready, you are. And another way. And coordination test, 1 arm each way, just for fun. Higgy. Kumite. Just like, go into the first half of the judo push-up, stretch up. And as we sink back, just leave that hands forward, stretching out the shoulders. Sneaking one arm out to the side, leaning in towards the nuts. This time, shooting the arm through, again, leaning into the shoulder. And reviewing the rear chokes. So, as before, we start a meter, just over a meter back. We open with kyoshi. We take our 2 steps in. And remember, we're gliding, right from the hips. Open kyoshi again. And quick pro stop in. With our partner, we want our knee about the shoulder area. We don't want it in the back because then it's blocking. We don't want it out here because then there's too much space. Here. We start with Hadaka Jime, naked choke. We have this hand here. This hand clasps around. And I mentioned last time, it used to be you did that in sequence. Here, here, here. Now they want it all together. And we are imagining putting a noose around Uke's neck. And we want it to be snug. So my chest is putting pressure on shoulder blades. This is on this side, this is on this side. And my head, temple to temple or cheek to cheek, or however you want to feel about it, is locking it in here. And so he has very little movement available to him. Here, here. And then to apply, I'm going to do a little shuffle back. Don't lean back. We need to keep our posture at all times. Shuffle back. What happens is, Uke goes like this. And he now has to put in effort. It's a strain on his abs to just stay sitting. That means there's weight on the neck. This is applying pressure. He's now weak. Here he's strong. Yeah? So here, and then back. Uke's response. As soon as I start to apply, he's going to reach up, grab shoulder, grab the elbow, and yank down. And he wants to do that. Okay? Unlike Osaiwaza, he doesn't even get close. Basically, he's going to attempt something, it's going to be completely futile. I've done the setup properly. He will yank, it doesn't work, he taps with his right foot.
Doesn't matter.
What seems natural and fluid to you? Again, watching the Worlds, you'll see people like, they'll do a little shake, some people do 2, some people 3, but if you are being choked in Randori or Shiai, one tug, generally you don't give up after that. You're going to try a couple times. But after that, it's what's natural and flowing to you. That's definitely not listed in the rules or the code. Uke pulls 2.5 times at this.
Not once though, not once and then tap.
I would say if you only did it once, you didn't really try to get out. Like if you came out and you really tried it, like it's possible to make that happen. But again, you're looking for a little bit of realism there. You give an earnest effort to pull it, you see that it's not there, tap. If you only do one, I'd say there's a big risk of you looking like you didn't really try. Okay, I do the first one, back out to Kyoshi, back in. Second one, Okuri Ire Jime. This one, reach underneath the arm, opening up the jacket. This allows me to push my thumb nice and deep into the jacket, reaching across here. Again, nice and tight here, here, here. Everything is snug all the way around. If I'm up here, his head can go to the left. He's got mobility. I don't like that. Here. And again, just a little shuffle back, get him off balance, and apply. Set back up. Okay. Third one, very, very similar setup. Here, open, nice and deep. Now instead of reaching across, we're going to lift up for Kata Hajime, single wing lock. Up here, posture, just like everything else, all right? I don't want to be hunched over. My hand goes behind the head, the back of my hand towards him, come towards me, underneath my own arm. And this one, instead of a shuffle back, it's a slight twist to the side. Okay. Uke has a different response to this one. He's going to grab his own wrist with this hand, so it reaches up, grab your own wrist, and he tries to yank down. And if I don't have my good posture, this is what happens, and it releases pressure. If you do have good posture, he can yank all he wants, and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just a little bit out to the diagonal. It's not,
Basically back open.
yeah, it's not 90 degrees. It's just to the diagonal.
One leg will be tucked in more than the other. So there's no straight legs here. Now, sit up, the left leg will be tucked in more than the right. So that means that the right foot is generally a little bit higher up.
That's your left foot. That's tucked in more.
Tuck in your left, yeah, like that. Okay, so with your hands up here and you're basically putting all your weight on your tailbone, you're going to have the right leg be a little bit higher than the left generally. So that means that you're going to be able to tap that one a lot easier than you were trying to do the same tap with your left foot as it is right there.
Yeah. To the side.
It'll be the edge.
Yeah.
Okay? So you want to hear the noise. You use the ball of your foot, you'll hear the noise. Using the edge. So take it back to where the position to locate when you're sitting there.
Good, practice it.
Now, when I go back, I'm going to get a little bit off balance. This hand is going to pull down, and this one's going to cross. For your defense, you grab your wrist and try to pull it down. He has posture.
Just like trying to break triangles.
When does Uke apply the defense? And this goes back to, it's not really written, and you have to do what makes sense to you. I've heard this question put at clinics, and I've heard IJF judges say different things, and they're very, very committed. I can tell you what's the leading thing right now. That means nothing for what's, the leading thing next time. But, so if someone's coming in for Okuri or Jime, here, he reaches across. As soon as he starts to apply, that's when I'm going. Okay? And so it's before he moves back. But he's got his grip and he's applying. Applying is, I consider it the same as the on signal as an osai komi. I'm sitting here, I let him set up. As soon as he starts to apply, that's my on signal. I need to get out now. And then by the time I've reached, he's already on his way back. So I'm here, he's now going back, shuffle back. That said, some teams have taken, you apply it first and then there's an escape. Like you apply the hold down, and so it has been done at the Worlds. Go ahead and apply it again. And they go all the way back, and then it happens. Lots of teams have done that. Currently, that's getting out of favor. So if you are doing this for your own understanding of judo, for your own grading, just do what makes sense to you. Like when you feel that, oh, there's an on signal, that's when it should be. Just like when there's an on signal in OSA, whether that's here or here, goes best. If you start getting to compete at the international level, then maybe look at what the other cool kids are doing and what people are trending. But at this point, I wouldn't worry. But definitely do not, go ahead, apply it. See, shuffle back. Uh-oh, I'm being choked. It's way too late. Okay? It has to make sense. Okay? So if you can make it make judo sense to you, as a kata teacher, I'm happy. If it makes sense. If you want to get into competition, then you have to figure out what judges want, and that's near impossible. So best of luck to you. Okay. And then just watching around, I think people are doing well. Just remember that close body contact, you want everything to be nice and tight, just like the rest of judo, and then posture as well. So again, same judo. Next, we have the cross chokes. So this is actually the first and the fifth technique. We did the middle three just now, okay, in order. The first one is Kata Jujijime, and then the fifth technique is Gyaku Jujijime. And the setups are very, very similar. So we've done our 1.2 meters away, our 2 steps, our close kyoshi, a little hop in. And we were practicing the hand movement last time. So my palms are down, or the top thumb away, bottom thumb in, however you want to remember that. Wrist and elbow here. This hand goes to the shoulder, and I sink in, so we're nice and tight here, okay? So from here, and then I'm keeping control of the shoulder with my right hand. My hand goes into the lapel, nice and deep. I want the back of my fingers hitting the tatami. If I'm up here and I apply, there's nothing on the side of his neck. I want this tight against the side of his neck here, okay? Then I need to get into same position across. So my knee, my shin goes across the belt here. All right, and up to this point, both of them are identical. The Kata Juji and the Gyaku Juji. For Kata Juji, the first technique, I'm going to continue my hand around in that circle, coming around, so I get my thumb in. Which gets me fingers in on one side, thumb in on the other. One in, one out. That's Kata Jujijime, right? So, comes around here, and just tight around the head, right in. And again, I want the blade of my wrist right into the side of his neck. Okay? So once I have that, to apply, I'm going to lean into my own wrists and close here. And apply. Okay? What does uke do in response? Trade your place. It comes in, puts my arm to the one side, back hand comes up to the shoulder, back hand comes up to the shoulder, slides the knee into my armpit. Good. This hand in there, yeah. All the way to the bottom. Yep. As he sits around, hand around the head, thumb in. Now then, when he applies, he does it by dropping his elbows. This is what applies pressure on my neck. So my response is to try to push his elbows up this way. And I'm not just going to use my arms, I'm actually going to bridge a bit with it. So here, I'm pushing up this way. Here. Okay? But like the rear chokes, if he's in a good position with strength, it'll be completely futile. So all you have to do is lock in.
Right in.
And the thing that Tori does with his feet is he just tucks his feet into the thighs of uke to lock in so he doesn't get thrown off. So here, apply. Yeah, bring it back with you. There you go. There we go. So without a partner, to the side, secure the shoulder, knee into the armpit, hand into the lapel, shin across the belt, swooping around here, lean in. And as uke bridges, just clamp in with the side of your feet. Uke, make sure you're pushing on the elbows. You're trying to push them in and up with the bridge. Not to the side, just straight back. There you go. That's later. One little point that I'll mention to everyone. plank. I'm just going to loosen grip so I don't make them pass out while I'm explaining things. You want to lower your elbows and lean into them. So my weight is going into my arms as I apply this choke. I don't want to go so far as I'm off balance, because if my head is on here, on the mats, that takes pressure off of uke. Again, I'll go nice and loose because I'm explaining. I want to be here. All right? Again, I'm looking up to you to talk, but really, it's here. Okay. Gyaku Juji Jime. So after this one, we would have done the 2 steps back, come around, do all 3 of the rear chokes that we just reviewed, and we come back here. Start is the same. Start is the same. Here. Now then, instead of going around and putting the thumb in, this is Gyaku. That means both fingers are in on both sides. So here, we're just going to bring it in here and go straight across from this side here. Some people make a really huge show of it. You don't need to. They can see it. This, it's enough. They can tell that you're not doing Gyaku. And again, I'm going to apply pulling in, leaning forward. Okay. Have a slightly different job now because brush the hand up as you go across, and then, yeah, fingers in. Okay, so if you look at his arms now I can push this way, sort of a twisting motion. Okay, because of his arms, the different way it's gripping. So my escape is actually this way. And when I bridge, it'll be to that corner here. Okay? To release pressure. Okay, so this. And look, my chin's in the way, no more choke. I'm a happy guy. So that's what uke wants. I'll turn your places again. Okay. So as I apply, he's twisting this way and he pushes me over. Here, I want to land on my side and cross my feet around his back, stopping his roll, holding him in place. And then from here, I can pull in and pull out. Okay? This is critical. I don't want crossing toes back here. Bring your feet up a bit, cross them properly. And once you're here, you can draw in and apply. Okay? Just like Kazushi for throws, you don't want to go to uke, you want to pull uke into you. Right? That's all judo. So one more time. First part, exactly the same as what we did. There. Okay. If you've done Kata before, you know they make a big point of getting up with grace and dignity. How do we get back up from here? Relax. This is a bit tricky. There's lots of methods. I'm going to show you mine. This one, I'm going to sit up and uke is going to help. So together, work together, go ahead. Oh, good. And as a team, we can get back up fairly smoothly. Okay? And then we put them back to normal, and then we're done the set. So we do our 2 steps back, I go to my starting position, uke sits up, we fix our belt again.
I'm just going to start with you.
Put it out here. Up here. At the end of the Osai Waza, we just did the Missouri Kamisho Katame. We do the 2 steps back, and at this point, uke is set up, go ahead, sit up, and we fix our belts about 1 meter up. So sit all the way up, come back so you're facing me. Get the right palm, there you go, there. And this is where we fix our belts. Okay? That's after Osai Waza. Go back down. After Shini Waza, we just finished the Gyaku Juji Jime. We put the arm down, we've done our 2 back, we've done our far kyoshi, Here we're going back to our starting position, which is the 1 meter in from the tape. So I get up and I head up over here. You get up just like you did before. Here. So you stay right there.
Stay right there.
And open. And then we fix our problem. Okay? I just want to let you know, so if it looks funny to you, that's what the rules say. After shimiwaza, you go back to your starting position to fix. But after osaiwaza, you just do the 2 steps back, which is, we'll be up here. Okay? All right. After we fixed our belts, we're now moving into kansetsuwaza. So you get to go back down again. Oh, come back up. You don't bring your leg in, you just put your hand down and then straight in. Yep. And just like before, I go with my just over 1 meter away. Kyoshi, 2 steps, open, cross up in. Okay? We're back here. The first 3 of the arm locks are done from this position, and the other 2 will come back over here. This one, just like the cross chokes, I put the arm here, bring my knee in tight, but instead, I'm going to come straight up, and now my on signal is to look at uke. I don't want to bend too far over, I don't want to sacrifice my posture, but just for me, I try something. And that's the attitude you should have, and yes, uke will try something. And in this case, he's going to try and grab my collar. So he comes up, grabs this, and he tries to pull me this way. I don't like this. So I go, try something, and I'm going to catch. I want to swoop up here and catch the wrist. So as he's coming for this, here. I'm going to bring it down this way. And those of you who know, we're going to end up in uregarami, arm entanglement. Now, as I bring this down, this hand is going to be coming in underneath so I can grab my own wrist. So this is at the same time. Here, coming down. Here, we have a sort of a throttle motion. We twist the wrist out. And I want his arm to maintain this 90 degrees. Just bring it into his side. If he doesn't like it, any taps. And the quickest way to release pressure is to release that throttle. Okay? Your body, you're kind of falling into a munigatami position. You want to be nice and tight and low. So again, he can't move. He doesn't have much options. I was a little bit high because I was talking to you, but really, yeah, that hand doesn't really move. So chest to chest, just like munigatami. Then as it's coming up, this kind of thing here means it so you don't have to find it. It's just nicer. Oh, there's his wrist. You'll find it quite easily. Coming down again, all in one. Here, throttle. We've had uke's defense all the way through, and you notice the ones for shime is less than osaiwaza. The ones for kansetsu are also less. There's not much that uke can do, and they're not going to try very hard. So we were talking about 1 or 2 yanks on the chokes. On this one, if it's on, you don't have time to do 1 or 2 things. If you look at the textbook, it says that uke turns towards tori, and it's going to kind of push in. So you can't take this arm. You're putting your arm this way, I say, oh, I'm going to go this way. Uke does not get very far in this endeavor. Okay? Kelly Palmer once told me about a story of a sensei in the Kodokan who says, basically, uke has time to think about the escape. And if you look at the worlds, sometimes it's very, very difficult to see any escape attempt. But in the same vein, I've been told by judges, I didn't see an escape attempt, so you get docked. It's okay when they do it because they're world class. I'm not quite there yet, so it doesn't happen. So, what do I do? So the arm goes out, comes in, he stands up, leans in, says try something, don't actually say it. All right, there we go.
Thumb down.
Yeah, there we go. And knee on this side, like here in Katame. Like this knee on. Yeah. So I'll turn it this way, but it's too late. And that's all I have for my defense. It's just a little try to roll into them, but I'm too late. Some people you'll see they kind of bridge in an upward direction. I don't know what they're attempting to do even late. Because if I bridge straight up into a Munigatami, I'm still in a Munigatami.
They're attempting to get points.
But if I was really quick and I turn in, I avoid. I'm just too slow. That is Wesley's justification for what happens. And using the textbook that says Uke turns towards Tori. That's what I've come up with, and that's what I try to do. It's served me fairly well. By all means, find other people to give you other reasons and how they do that. I'll just reiterate, you want to keep things nice and snug with the partner. So here, good posture, give the on signal, it comes up. Nice and tight all the way around here. This is tight here, this knee is tight in here, this knee's tight in here. Everything is snug. If this knee is back, he has a place to put his knee. If this knee is back, he can get his elbow in. He can start doing things. Tight, tight, tight. He can no longer move. Throttle, keeping the 90 degrees, and nicely. Okay, so I put that back, do my little half step out, half step in. This time, we're doing Ureshi Juji Katame. In this case, I'm putting on this arm, so I'm not going to put it out to the side. I'm just going to come in and do my on signal from here. And this time he's going to try and grab the opposite side here, but he's going to try and do the same thing. He's going to try, do something nefarious, because he's an uke, they're all evil. So much like last time, I want to catch his arm before he grabs. So as it comes in, I want to grab here. Sensei Gord calls this baseball grip, baseball bat. And as I do that, I'm going to bring my shin into his armpit, and my knee is kind of pointing towards his chin. Here. Ude Hishigi, arm pull. Stretch them out. Should be nice and tight here. Okay? My second step, I'm going to bring this foot around here, back in here. So my heel is kind of in this little groove between his neck and shoulder. I step back into Juji Katame. I want to be directly in line with Joseki. I don't want to go to any corner here. And as I roll back, I'm going to tuck my toes underneath the shoulder blade. Here. Knees are nice and tight. His thumb is up. Slowly apply, and I'm done. Okay? Switch places. This is the most obvious of the escapes attempt by Uke in the entire set. I actually get to move somewhat. That's Uke. So it comes in, on signal. I go grab here, inch, pressure. Here. Foot comes around. And as he's sitting, I'm going to try and roll. Go back up. And that's why we tuck the toes underneath the shoulder blade. Go ahead, bring that foot in. If he tucks that in and locks us in, there is now basically a wall. I try to roll, I kind of bounce off of it. Doesn't, if he has that tucked in, I can bounce off that all day, I can't go. Point your toes out again. Really easy out. Okay? So, keys. You want your knees tight. You want that toes underneath the shoulder blade, and then apply Juji Katame. And Uke, you're just trying to roll this way. If the toes are in place, you won't be able to. If the toes are not in place, you come back anyway because you're good Uke when you want to get at the score. And you tell them at the next practice, get your toes underneath. I've watched a few people, and there is a bit of a difference between ukes. I've seen people just kind of do this, and to me that looks pretty lifeless. I tried to make an actual grab. And so I just come up a little bit like I'm going to grab, do something. But going here, have my arm, does not seem to me to be in the spirit of any kata. My attack needs to be real, and then his response can be real, and away we go. And before I send you off, getting back up from this one. Actually turn this way, head towards them, please. So, done this, you got them, he tries to roll, it doesn't work, you roll that way. Good, he taps. To get back up, no, he's gonna try and bicep curl me up. No, relax. What I like to do is just a little shake out. Whoop, that wasn't as smooth as what I usually do. But if I make a little bit of space, I can then tuck my foot in and do it fairly smoothly. Much better than what I just demonstrated. So here. Here. There we go. So you just shimmy yourself a little bit away. It gives you a little bit of area to do what you need to get up in a smooth and graceful manner. Curling up Tori is okay. People have done it. Good for them. Others, Tories have done just like the one-legged super squat. Roll there and just pops up. I can't do that. There's nothing wrong with either of those. If you can do it, fantastic, but that's just my suggestion. Okay, we put Uke back, we've done our half step out, half step back in. We go back to our initial set, putting the arm out here, knee nice and tight, here, initial on signal. This time we're doing Ureshigi Ude Katame, arm on. So this time, instead of reaching for this part, he's actually going to reach for my collar. He's going to try and get his thumb like around my neck, so he's going to get like what we call a high grip. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to let him here, and as soon as his thumb goes past, I'm not going to let him pull though. I'm going to lock it. Okay? I'm using my head and my shoulder, so if he tries to pull his hand, I got it. Okay? Come in. Here, and I'm going to stack my hands here, right on the elbow. Elbow, hand, right on top. This way. Pushing down with my shin here so it can't roll towards me. Here, that way. If I don't have this here, you can just kind of roll in. He does all kinds of nefarious stuff. So again, down, lock, this is critical, stack the hands, and with the hands, it's a rotation and in, like your hands are following the keel of a boat, here. Try not to have your arm all along the chest, his arm all along your chest, because then there's no place for it to go. You need a little bit of space for the break to happen. Okay, just quickly, point brought up for this one. I demonstrated this, so as it comes in, I went sort of pushing. I grabbed and rolled and then finished the roll with my right. Gord was saying, start it with your right and then finish it with your left. So, not this, but here. Okay, we'll quickly demonstrate the last two. I'm here. So, I will go my 2 steps out, come out here, here's, I do my 2 steps in, coming to roughly center, open, then we both take a half step in. We get a standard grip. I'm going to wrap here. What I want to do is suck his arm into my hand, kind of cupping the elbow. I'm not grabbing, cupping here, locking it nice and tight. My right foot, come up high on his thigh, not down on the knee, up here. Here, and I push that out, falling to my side. I bring my foot onto the belt, I rotate on my hips, and apply Udishiki Hizaka. And then here, wrap. Again, here we're just going to slide back until we catch the elbow, nice and tight in the armpit. Do not let go of this. Pushing here, foot about the belt, knee on your hand, putting pressure by twisting your hips. So here, Uke's response is from here, he's going to try and come over me and try and get a hold down. And I keep him away with my legs. Okay. Here. So with my foot here, push here, I keep him from coming on top of me. Uke is always maintaining a fighting attitude. While falling flat, you're giving up. You're saying I'm dead. Do with me what you will. We open and up. Come in for something like Bomanage. Come in, Uke braces. Okay? Uke will do a little bit of a pull. As I come in, I'm going to twist on my hip. I'm going to wrap my foot in so my foot is touching the sternum, and then push out on the knee. Here. I have to pull on the lapel to keep them close. And then I corkscrew my leg and apply the leg lock. If I do not keep him close, his escape attempt is to pull away. He can turn his knee downwards and there's no lock. As long as I keep him close, his leg does not turn. And that's what he's looking for. To get out, you back up there. I do my 2 steps back. And just like in the beginning, Uke gets 1. We fix. Up. 1 step back. You accelerate to each other. Our Ritsu-Ray Shomen.